Thanksgiving. I thought that I would still come online, say hello, see if anybody wants to chat for Thanksgiving. But I wanted to kind of be able to come online and say how grateful I am for all of you and all of the good things that have happened in my life over the past year. It's been a good year. A lot of streaming in that year. A lot of data roundtables in that year. But I wanted to express my gratitude for that and for all of you and for all the opportunities I've had over the past year. So let me know what you're grateful for in the chat. How are you? What are you up to? If you're in the US, guys, typically speaking, it's a 4-day weekend in the US. So what are you doing to spend time with your family, right? That's a good thing. But then what else are you doing to move yourself forward? Hmm? What are you doing to help yourself move forward and say, hey, I'm going to improve myself. I'm going to set myself up. I'm going to move forward. I'm going to make sure that next year at Thanksgiving, I'm going to have something good to talk about or to be grateful for. This is the time to do it, guys. 4-day weekend. 4-day weekend, yes, you're going to do some family, you're going to do some eating, you're going to do some shopping. But there's plenty of time in there for you to sneak in a couple hours every day just to do some studying, do some AI exploration, try a new tool. Try a new tool. Say that fast 15 times. I can't believe I screwed up on that. Try a new tool, do something else. So let me know what you have in mind. What are you going to be doing so that a year from now you're not saying, "Oh, I'll do it tomorrow." No. Casual Economist says Thanksgiving stream, that's dedication. I appreciate that, Casual Economist. And Casual Economist, you know what? I'm grateful for you, buddy. You're always here. You're always supporting. You're supporting here and on Instagram. So thank you so much for that. I hope that you have a great Thanksgiving. I believe you said you're going to be spending it with your family. I think you told me that. But yeah, guys, I was working on my analytics recently. My audience is 48% North America. So that means 52% of you, it's just another Thursday, right? So, yep, I decided to come on here and just stream a little. Probably not going to be a long stream because I do have other things to do today. But yeah, I'm just going to be on here streaming for a little bit, see who shows up. But for a lot of my audience, it's just Thursday. People think about that about Las Vegas, about how, oh, Las Vegas must be slow during the holidays, and it's not. Because for so many people, here, who come here or even who live in the US but maybe just don't celebrate Thanksgiving, it's just another day. Just another day, right? But for me, it's not going to be just another day. I'm going to do a little streaming, and then I'm going to do a little work here around my house, and then I'm going to go see my parents. I'm going to spend things. Well, first of all, I have to go shopping to bring my parents food. I'm going to do Thanksgiving over at their place. And yeah, they wanted me to bring over some food, so I'm going to go shopping for them. And then we're going to have Thanksgiving over at their house. I'm going to take my dog Kino with me, so he'll get to explore someplace new. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing. So I'm gonna be spending a day full of gratitude with family. But yeah, Casual Economist says 52% aren't North America, Mr. International. Yeah, Casual Economist, they are not. I'm only well, I shouldn't say only. 48% of my audience is from North America. Everybody else is from outside of that. And I think I've mentioned this before on my stream, Casual Economist. I apologize if I'm repeating myself to you, but I think about that number and I'm not surprised, right? I've come to the conclusion that I shouldn't be surprised. Um, you guys know that I do follow fertility rates. It's one of the few things that I agree on with Elon Musk. And guys, I mean, fertility rates in developed countries in North America and in Western Europe, they're not great, right? So if you make the assumption that data science is going to be more attractive to younger people or people early in their careers, I'm going to be popular where the young people are. right? I don't have a lot of followers in Asia. Asia is my lowest demographic. Asia doesn't have a lot of teenagers. Asia doesn't have a lot of college freshmen. At least a lot of countries in Asia, right? But North Africa does, right? A lot of my demographics are from North Africa. Eastern Europe, I get a lot of viewers in Eastern Europe, right? The Middle East, I get viewers from the Middle East. Those are countries that do have a younger population. So yeah, that's what I say. Casual economist says, "Oh yeah, lack of yeah, casual economist." So if like I said, if I'm willing to accept that data science usually is more attractive to younger people, then I'm going to be popular where the young people are, and they're not in Asia. They're not always in North America, or not as in big numbers, right? But yeah, so yeah, and casual economist. That's my whole theory behind it. Um, I don't want to say your first name, so we'll just say we'll call you a rag. A rag, welcome. Thanks so much. I appreciate you being here. Rag says hi. Good morning. Thank you so much, my friend. Like I said, I want to keep you incognito, but thank you so much. Really appreciate you. Um, yeah, happy Thanksgiving to you and to your family. And I'm still here because this is what I do, guys. So, like I said, I'm going to be here streaming a little bit on YouTube, then on Instagram, and then I'm going to go see my parents. Well, I got to go shopping. I spoke with my parents yesterday. Um, we're gonna have, uh, my dad just said, "Hey, I'm really in the mood for chicken." So yeah, so I'm on a mission today to find a rotisserie chicken to bring over to my parents because that's what my dad wants for Thanksgiving. It's just gonna be the three of us, so there's no need for us to do a big turkey or a. I personally like ham. I don't know about you guys, but for holidays, I'm a ham guy. But there's no reason for us to do a big ham or a big turkey or do a big cooking thing. I'm just going to bring over some food. So I am on a mission, guys. As soon as I finish here, I'm going to do some things around the house. I'm going to, shower, get ready, and then I'm on a mission to go find a rotisserie chicken for my dad. So we'll see. Alicia says, "Where do you think this trend is going worldwide?" Yeah, great question. Oh my God, you are brave for going to a grocery. Well, no, 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 I'm not. No, I already went to a grocery store. And guys, I know both of you are close friends, so I'm only going to admit this to you guys. I may or may not have already had some pumpkin pie this morning. Yes, it's 8 a.m. Yes, don't judge me, please. But I did have some pumpkin pie that I just bought this morning. So, so, uh, so Zara, the good thing about Vegas is you can usually find places that open early. So I did. So yes, of course, I'm not going to go to a grocery store at like 11 o'clock today, right? That's suicide. But no, I did manage to find a place early. For the chicken, I have a restaurant in mind that does rotisserie chickens. I think they're from Peru. I think Peru is known for doing like the roasted chicken or whatever. And I've been wanting to try that restaurant. So I think I'm going to do that. So yes, I'm only going to get them food from restaurants. I am not going to the grocery store today. I think I saw a meme about that, talking about how, it's just complete suicide to go to Costco during Thanksgiving week, right? You do not want to go to Costco Thanksgiving week. Um, but yeah, do you like any toppings on your pumpkin pie? Casual economist, you know me. I'm a man of the classics. The Pilgrims did not have Cool Whip, right? So no, I just like it plain. I just love pumpkin pie. Pumpkin pie to me just tastes so awesome, so awesome. Okay, so Zara says, where do you think this trend is going worldwide? Nowhere good, nowhere good. Guys, here's what scares me about that. So remember, we're talking about fertility rates and how some countries are in real trouble. So the two countries that you hear the most, among others, right, are Korea and Japan. But Italy has problems, Spain has problems, the US has problems. But the thing about I think about North Korea and Japan, they have the lowest fertility rates. And I think it's for Korea, they've estimated that in as little as 3 or 4 generations, which is not a lot of time, by the way. A generation is usually considered 15 years, 15, 17 years, right? They're going to be in serious, serious trouble. But here's what worries me. I think it's going to be like half that because what happens when Korea is there and other countries notice, hey, Korea doesn't have a lot of people that are of military age. I don't think Korea is able to fill their military. And gee, that Korean peninsula looks like a nice geographical space to have. What happens then, right? That's the part that worries me. That a lot of these countries aren't going to be able to defend themselves after a while. So whenever you hear these fertility rates, guys, and you hear these projections, realize that halfway along those projections, you're going to have a very, very aging population, right? So yes, they may say, "Oh, Japan will be fine. They got 6 generations, 7 generations to turn things around." Yeah, but for those last 3 generations, you're going to be very, very elderly, right? Very few young people, and that I think is a big concern because you hear people thinking about like, okay, well, that means your GDP is going to go down because your productivity, you're not going to have enough people to fill your factories, so on and so forth. Yeah, but you're also not going to have enough people to fill your military, right? Danger, danger. I mean, the Philippines, from my understanding, is not having fertility problems. What if the Philippines says, "Hey, look, we'd like to have some of these Japanese islands"? They could do it. They could do it in the next like 30, 40 years, right? Because even the people who are teenagers now, right? How old are they going to be in their 40s? Excuse me, how old are they? How old are they in their 40s? Stupid. How old are they going to be 40 years from now? They're going to be in their 50s, right? 50s, 60s. So what then? That's bad, right? That's where I think it's going, Zara. I think it's going to be very, very scary. Casual Economist says AI bots for soldier. Yeah, maybe like Conquest Time, says Zara. Yeah, yeah. Casual Economist, you're reminding me of one of my favorite passages. I believe in vodka Tron 2 points. Is that a Rush? Is that the Russian bot? Oh yeah, 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 yeah. You're talking about the yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'll tell you guys something. One of my favorite passages in one of my favorite books. The book is The Master Algorithm by Pedro Domingos. It's one of the books I recommend on my 5 books everyone should have, right? There is a great passage in that book. So actually when you think about it, it's like a form of reinforcement learning. So check this out. He talked about how there was a military proposal here in the U.S. and what they would do is they would like establish this battlefield and they would have these humanoid robots. And the only thing they would do is they would teach the robots how to use a 3D printer. And they would say that, and then they would tell the robot that their goal, their reward system was to eliminate all the other robots. So, in theory, through reinforcement learning, the robots would design new weapons because they would design and redesign what they're doing on the 3D printer to, kill the other robots. So, yeah, casual economists, maybe some people are already thinking about this, right? That's possible. But yeah, yeah, that's what you reminded me of, where maybe it will be a robot versus robot. I don't think it's going to happen that fast, right? Because some of these countries are going to be in real trouble real soon, right? But they have thought about that, where what if we teach robots not just like, battle techniques, but through that process, they're going to learn how to use a 3D printer and maybe they would develop a new weapon, like some sort of new, like hand-to-hand combat weapon that, we as humans just haven't thought of. Isn't that crazy? I love that passage. He has a whole story on it. Again, if you want to check it out, it's The Master Algorithm by Pedro Domingos. But I just love that passage where they're using like there's a little bit of machine learning and robotics in there, obviously. But the whole point was that they were going to let the robots battle and battle and battle over again, right? Because then a robot would lose, and then they would go back to the 3D printer, modify its design in some way, go back to bat, right? Like it'd be like this whole reinforcement learning. I just thought it was awesome. Casual economist. Oh, well, Zara says like Star Wars. Yeah, absolutely. Casual economist says scary. Yeah, it is scary, but like that's what people are doing, right? Like at a high level, those are the types of things that people are thinking about doing with data science and robotics in general. But yeah, I don't know if that project ever came to pass. That's probably one of those like DARPA projects or like some secret, CIA project or something. But I just thought it was an interesting passage in that book to talk about that. But yeah, so I thought that was interesting. But guys, I think I'm gonna stop here and go over to Instagram because I do want to keep my streams reasonably short today so that I can, spend some time with my parents. But thanks so much, everybody. Again, happy Thanksgiving. As always, please take care of yourselves, take care of your families, and I will see you again tomorrow, most likely.